It is going to be a slippery slope almost any way we look at this, because the Second Amendment has been interpreted to be far more expansive than it originally was. If we look back 100, 150 years ago, gun restrictions on local levels was pretty much accepted as a common practice. But where we are now, that's not the case. The ends justifies the means is a dangerous way to go about things, but it is kind of hard to argue with the fact that when we do look at homicides that are from domestic violence, over half of them are related to guns. Guns are involved in that crime. And of course, it's a little difficult to argue that disarming those abusers doesn't decrease that homicide rate. So there is definitely a positive aspect to this. But I do think that Jason does point to a valid problem, and that is the consideration of when we implement some type of restraining order. It's not temporary restraining orders, so it has some oversight more than just somebody requesting one.